gentlemen, welcome back once again to your Monday night. Why? Because it is Avenger Pretenders here once again to, try to convince you that we actually know something. It is I, JT the Redneck. Sully the Nerd is along with me as well. And this week, we are reviewing episode number 2 of Secret Invasion. Loving this show, I gotta tell you. Do me a favor, grab yourself your favorite adult beverage or something to drink, a little bit of popcorn or something to snack on, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show because, Sully, it's all yours.
Oh, why, thank you, sir. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Avenger Pretenders. I'm the geek, Sully, and thank you for that wonderful intro, my fellow redneck geek, JT. Yes, he is turning into a geek, folks. He's getting there. Slowly but surely, the geekdom is coming out. Whether he likes it or not, it's just irradiating off him now. Between Star Wars and Marvel, he didn't expect to know this shit for the life of him.
I'm irradiating. That just doesn't sound right.
It's just boom, right there. It's right.
It's a good thing, though.
It is a good thing because you can now hold your own. You really can. I mean, you still have questions. You have.
I'm better. I'm better than I was.
Yes, you are. And like he said during the intro, we will be talking about Secret Invasion Episode 2, Promises. That's right. Spoiler alert is in effect. And if you haven't watched it by now, why? Why haven't you? Because
I mean, come on. I've been able to watch 2 episodes twice.
And if he can do it, you can do it.
I would think.
Just putting it out there. But this week, oh my gosh, this week's episode was amazing.
Intense, can we say?
Yeah, I would say it was pretty intense. If you want to rock it,
Mm-hmm.
And for those that aren't keen on it, just remember, this is a spy TV show.
Yes. So
you kind of have to go in with this open mind, so to speak. And I really think one of the things that I've learned with this episode is that Hill was right. Nick Fury is not the same Nick Fury that we've known from Iron Man to now.
Yeah, I mean, up until, his disappearance,
yes,
he was a straight out freaking ball buster.
Yeah.
It didn't matter who you were. It didn't matter what position. You could be the president of the United States, the emperor of Russia, or the freaking Pope himself. He would look you straight in the face and tell you exactly what he thought.
Yeah.
He ain't like that no more.
No. He's really not. And to be honest, there's some interesting things going on in the background and some things that have never fully been brought out until now.
Mm-hmm.
This episode opened up some floodgates, to say the least, because we're currently starting off with the aftermath of the bombing that happened in Russia.
And they did answer my question. They didn't answer my one main question from the end of episode 1, which was, who the hell grabbed Fury? Because all you saw was 2 hands.
Yes.
Grab him and pull. You didn't see anything else.
Yes.
So luckily, they answered that right off the bat.
Which was also my right answer, that it was Talos.
No.
Because,
I like how he did it, though. He was smart when he did it.
Yes.
Because with with the form that he took and the clothes that he was wearing, he looked just like the guys, the thugs, that grabbed him
Yes.
in episode 1 when they took him to see the prime minister. Looked like the
Yes.
same guy.
Which was
So,
amazing.
you know, people see that, they're like, oh, he's government, he's police, leave him alone,
Yeah.
you know.
Which to me I thought was genius. And then
Definitely,
obviously, you know,
definitely.
he gets in the car and he changes back into Talos, and then he does whatever he needs to do, which I
Yep.
thought was spot on. You
Yeah,
needed to have
definitely.
something like that. So
Yeah.
we're dealing with the ramifications now. And oh boy, there's a lot going on because one, Nick Fury is now officially pissed off.
You killed his friend. You killed his closest friend.
His best friend,
Yes.
his right hand woman, the one who knew what he was thinking, how he was thinking. She was the one to go to. She's the one that helped him in Captain America Winter Soldier. She's the one that helped the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., because let's face it, guys, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., still a thing, still technically a part of the MCU. She's helped the Avengers. She basically replaced Coulson, because technically Coulson died
Pretty much.
3 times.
But who's counting? You know.
Who's counting? But currently, that's the situation. Is that now we're dealing with the ramifications of the explosion and the terrorist attack that is being blamed on what is it? Americans Against Russia, I believe, is the group that is in the process of basically starting a war. You know. I mean,
Basically.
let's face it. You're going to get those people that are going to start a war, you know? I want to say hi to Carol, who just came in and says, sorry I'm late. Hey, listen, it's okay, Carol. We love you. You know we love
It's
you.
better late than not at all.
Absolutely. I agree with the whole thing. Better late than
Yeah.
never. So,
Right.
so we're at that point now where Talos grabs him, and we kind of see some interesting things happen between Talos and Fury. Because now Fury is on the run. Talos is with him. And the Russians are currently looking for Fury.
Mm-hmm.
So now we've got 3 different groups of people looking for Nick Fury. The Russians, the Americans, and now the Skrulls. That's a lot
On both
of people.
sides. Scrolls on both sides.
Yes, Skrulls on both sides. Because the Skrulls that want to live peacefully are like, we got to find him, make sure he's okay. And the ones that want to start the war and take over Earth are like, we need to kill him. Because if he's still alive, we got a problem. Okay? So as things are going about, a lot of secrets come into play. We do see a little bit of backstory with Talos and his wife and Gaia. We see a little bit of that in the beginning. And we touch up on what exactly has happened since Captain Marvel with Talos and the Skrulls.
Can I tell you something that'll probably blow your mind?
Sure.
Do you think I'm really getting into these things, right?
You are very getting into these a lot.
Would you believe me if I told you that while we were rewatching today, Kay pointed out to me
Mhm.
that was his kid, that was Gaia, and that was his wife.
She paid attention?
And I'm like, Yeah, I'm an idiot. But Kay pointed out that was his daughter.
But we mentioned it last week. Did you forget?
But I didn't realize that
Or-
that was that in
Wait.
that scene that was his daughter.
So wait, you're talking about the flashback.
I knew there was a Gaia that was his daughter that he was chasing, the girl and everything. I didn't realize that the one from episode 1 that they were chasing and the little one in the meeting,
yeah,
were the same girl.
Oh, okay. So that whole flashback scene,
Yes.
I don't want to say it flew over your head, but it kind of did because you didn't put 2 and 2 together.
Just that
Okay.
that was his daughter and his wife.
Which makes sense.
It didn't click until Kay said something about it.
It makes
Son of
perfect
a
sense.
bitch.
It makes perfect sense.
It
So
does. No.
So the one thing about this episode, aside from all the explosions and Fury being on the run, it does start off in 1997, which, if I remember correctly, is 2 years after the events of Captain Marvel. And they mention Carol. They mention Carol Danvers a little bit, and how she's off world, she's doing whatever. And if I remember correctly, I also think the conversation between Talos and Fury on the train, which was a very heated conversation, by the way.
Turned into one, yeah. Real quick.
Turned into a very heated conversation where he said to Fury, "Why don't we call your friends down? Call your friends down and help with the situation."
Right.
And I love
Meaning
Fury's response.
the Avengers.
Any of the Avengers. Any of the Avengers. And the first thing that he said was, "Do you really think I'm going to call them down here so the other Skrulls can take them over? Are you kidding?"
So he could take them over and turn them into terrorists, I think
Right.
were his exact words.
Right. Want to say hi to Mr. Bunky. What's up, Bunkster? How are you, sir?
Holy shit. Bunky's here on a Monday.
He's
The
here
world
on a Monday.
is coming to an end.
He's here on a Monday, which is fantastic. So, hello, sir.
Good to see you.
For those listening to the podcast, once it's up, we have a live chat every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern. So come on in and have some fun with us. Because of those flashbacks and because of everything that happened in 95 and 97, plus the bombing, the heated conversation, aside from Talos saying, "Hey, let's get the Avengers involved in this," which they will be, folks. Don't you worry. They will be. Talos reveals to Nick Fury that there are over 1 million Skrulls living on Earth.
I could understand him getting a little upset about that.
Yeah.
I can see why he might be a little bit, what?
Well, because if I remember correctly, the deal that they made, or the promise that they made, and I believe they touch on this promise, was...
Yes, they retouch on it with the flashback.
Yes, the flashback
that I talked about earlier.
And later on in the episode as well, that the promise was Fury was going to do whatever he needed to do to help find the Skrulls a new home. Which is why a lot of them were still up in space. They built this space station and all this other good stuff so they could do what they needed to do in order to expand their horizons and find a new suitable planet for those Skrulls. And according to a meeting that happens later on, apparently promises were broken. So, yeah. It got heated, and Fury basically kicked Talos off at the next stop.
It was very convenient that they pulled into his station right at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Fury's like, you know what? this is your stop.
This is your stop. Get off. I don't want you in my sight right now. And you can't really say I blame him either. Can't really
I'm
say
with him.
I blame him.
I'm with him.
So Fury, now pissed because he just found out this information, goes on to meet up with Maria Hill's mother for her funeral. Or at least
her return.
Yeah, her return.
Yeah, they were at the airport when her body was returned.
Yes. But they weren't, I don't think they were in the States. I think they were still overseas. But when he gets to the airport, they're it's one of those things that Maria Hill's mother was like, I'm going to freaking kill you. You got my daughter killed, you know? And she flat out said she would have went to the ends of the earth and back for you, which is true because that's the type of agent that Maria Hill was. She was Fury's right-hand woman. Simple as that.
Yeah. I was watching and rewatching that entire conversation.
Yep.
It was hard to tell
if she was angry.
If she was really pissed at him for what happened to her, or if it was something that she really expected, to happen, or had the feeling would happen. So she wasn't happy with him because, his daughter died because of him. But it probably would have happened anyway, eventually. And you got the one comment that you always hear when somebody dies in some kind of a strange situation, or in these days, just about any time somebody dies.
Yeah.
Don't let her death be in vain.
Yes. Which, in his case, boy.
She did not realize and does not realize just how much weight those words have on him right now.
Well, sure.
I mean, that is literally the weight of the world on his shoulders.
And I think that would go for anybody. I really do. I think that would go for anybody. Hey, you're her commanding officer. You need to protect my little girl, that type of thing. And and she really was an epitome of a secret agent. Do I think we've seen the last of Maria Hill? No. I don't. Yes, she's dead. But
then again, they have the access to things like the science and technology of I can't think of the name of the
life model decoy
of Black Panther people.
Well, that and the LMDs, which are the life model decoys, which we've seen in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., because Coulson is a life model decoy, which also brings me to another theory that Iron Man really isn't dead, but that's besides the point. I'm just putting it out there.
Could be.
So there's a lot that can really be done with this secret invasion, and I hope they really touch up on it. I really do. Because
it would be interesting.
Yeah, because this is fantastic. Now we do see a news report from FXN, FXN News. Chris Stearns and the UK Prime Minister Pamela Loughton, they're a part of the Skrull Council, apparently. Because Gravik goes to meet the Skrull Council and goes to talk to them about what has transpired with the bombing and how the council doesn't approve, but they have high-ranking officials in the United States, in London, in the Middle East, that are all part of NATO, all part of the Skrull Council that are part of our everyday lives, making the decisions for us. This is bigger than Hydra.
Yeah, it is
Bigger than
now.
Hydra.
I got to tell you, when they flash back to them and they're driving in the car and they're pulling up and everything,
Yep.
he made a statement that I think really needed to be made and needs to be pointed out, because it shows just how much he thinks of himself and how much he believes in his cause.
Yes.
Now, granted, knowing that he knows that all the members of the council that he's going to see are all Skrulls.
Yes.
He knows this, obviously. But he makes a very interesting comment. He's like, just, get me to the meeting because I need the council to see my face while Russia still burns.
Yes.
That statement right there is as big, if not bigger, than the mother's statement to Fury.
Oh, absolutely. And you also have to remember that for him, for Gravik, and I know they only touched on this a little bit in the first episode, but they did touch up a little bit more on it in this episode, is that he is an orphan Skrull. His parents were killed in the war. He's got a lot of anger building up. A lot of anger. So the fact that his parents were killed in the Kree Skrull War. There's a clip for later.
The Kree Skrull.
The Kree Skrull. Scree Skrull.
It was the Scree Skrull Scrum.
Scrum. Yeah, we'll get there. The Kree Skrull War that happened 2 years before, and what I mean, it still technically is going on. The Kree and the Skrulls do not like each other. They never have. Okay.
Timeline question: wouldn't it be 5 years, because they did say that he had been up on the space station for 5 years?
Maybe.
So would that make it a 5-year wait?
Maybe
that would make more sense than 2 years to me, as far as getting that upset about not having a home yet and not coming through with your promise and those kind of things. I think it's a 5-year timeline there.
Nope, 2 years, 1995. So he may have been on the run for 5 years. But between Captain Marvel and the timeline of 97, it's 2 years. Captain Marvel takes place in 1995.
Right. And the promise was made in 97.
Yep. Promise was made in 97 when Fury and the Council of Skrulls started talking about it and saying, hey, we're going to do this. We're going to get you guys a new home. Are you with me? The only way we can do this is by working together.
Right. And then right after that, Fury went up to the space station. So between the promise made in 97 and now has got to be 5 years.
Yes.
Because he was up at the space station for 5 years. So we're sitting at 2022.
Yeah, but you also have to remember
when they go to present time.
But you also got to remember that he actually did disappear during the snap.
Yes.
So that was him that disappeared in the snap. And he reappeared in the blip. We saw Hill disappear. It happened.
Yeah, and they said that's why he went up to the space station, because he couldn't handle things here. But then obviously the problems that he had followed him up to the space station, blah, 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 and all that. So it's why he's not who he was before.
And I really think, and maybe I'm wrong on this one, but I really think it has to do with everything that has gone on from when he first met Carol Danvers to the snap. Because he's always 4 or 5 steps ahead of you. Always.
Mm-hmm.
But he couldn't stop Thanos.
Right.
And that got him, something's going on.
an understandable feeling, you
Yep.
know, from a guy who has almost never lost. In any case, the losses that he took were very, very minor
Yes.
in any of his engagements and stuff like that. So to have that big of a loss, you know, in the win-loss column of not being able to beat Thanos, and then being, you know, disappeared in the snap and brought back and during from the blip
Yep.
and everything, it would fuck up my mind too.
Oh, hands down.
You know, pardon my French on that one, but that's the only way that I could say it. You know,
Hands down it would. I mean, that's the
Yeah.
thing. It's, you know, that's the biggest thing that's technically affecting him right now. And
Yeah.
and that's okay. That is absolutely okay, because in the long run, I think it's making him a better person, to be honest. I really do.
right, right.
More along the lines of probably better strategic person. He screwed up. It happens.
hmm
It does. It happens. He screwed up. Is it necessarily his 100% screw up? No. Absolutely
Yeah.
not. You
It's
can't,
just the way things panned out.
right. You can't stop something that the Avengers were already in the process of stopping. Both Avengers, both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Two teams, one on Earth and one on what the hell is it? I forget the name of his planet.
Anyway.
Damn it! No, it's gonna bug me. Titan. Why couldn't I remember Titan? Thanos is a Titan. He's Thanos the Titan, the Mad Titan.
Especially with the sub that went down.
Dum, dum,
Name.
dum.
Titan.
Womp womp.
Too soon? Sorry.
Too soon. So, as they're in this meeting, Gravik basically says, hey, I'm starting a new war. Whether you like it or not, Earth will be our planet. Simple as that. Stay out of my way. And oh, by the way, I want your blessing.
Yeah. And I mean,
I mean,
the council meeting to me was kind of a setup. And the guy
Yeah.
that got hit in the throat
oh, yeah.
knew that it was some kind of a setup because he said, you two were in cahoots, him and the
Yep.
him and the prime minister, you know.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It was like pure, hey, you knew this was coming. You knew this was coming and you didn't tell any of us. Why? So, even though they all give Gravik his blessing, except for one, really, she was very hesitant. They
Right.
now have Gravik as the head of the council, and oh, by the way, he's going to start doing things to take over this planet. Because I have a feeling,
general.
I have a feeling that there are more than just 1 million people, 1 million Skrulls on Earth.
Well, the comment was made on the train. The comment was made when he told Fury about that. He said everybody that was not on some planet or under somebody's control or something like that. I can't remember exactly what he said. He said everybody that was not there came to Earth.
Yep. And they're here.
So there was more out there. You know, so, you know, that obviously over the time span, they're going to expand, they're going to grow.
Yes.
Because no matter what happens, you're always getting lucky, even in wartime, you know. So, you know, it makes you wonder how many people were off on this other planet in captivity or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
How many were there?
Yes. A lot more.
Does that make
Clearly.
sense?
Clearly a lot more. And a lot more were on that ship in Captain Marvel than we thought.
Right. I think
really-
we're locked up.
Because really, that ship alone, that was just sitting out in space.
Right.
It was just there.
Yeah.
So, interesting to say the least. And I have a feeling this is really going to tie into the Marvels later this year too. So I have this feeling that that's what's going to happen. So Councilwoman Shirley Sugar, she's part of that council. She contacts Talos and arrange a meeting with Gravik, which is going to be interesting to say the least, because Talos was on that council and now he's not.
Right. Well, and I like what she said when she walked out,
Mm-hmm.
or before she walked out, because she's like, you know, we did not get put into this situation because of our lack of declaring war. We are here because of our eagerness
To create war.
to declare war or create war.
Yeah.
You know, and I like how she says, you know, I do not agree with this plan. I do not agree with what you're doing, and I will not submit. And it surprised me when Gravik said, "You can go, and you will not be hurt."
Yep.
I still expect something to happen to her.
Oh, I thought she was going to get shot right then and there. I really did.
Or either that, or they were going to go out and she was going to get in her car, and her car was going to blow up.
Yeah, or something. I thought
I waited for
there was
something to happen.
I thought there was going to be some type of car bomb. I really did. Something was going to happen.
Me too.
So the fact that she actually got out of the building, I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, they've got to get rid of her. They have to get rid of her, because if they don't, she knows everything that's going on. And who's she going to go to?
She's
going to go to people that she knows aren't on the council.
Right.
That she knows aren't Skrulls, and she knows would work. Listen to what she has to say.
Right.
So they got to get rid of her. As the old saying goes, she knows too much.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, it's probably one of those things, hey, I can't do anything without you because you're on the council. Because the entire council, according to their rules, the entire council needs to know what's going on.
But if she's dead...
True. But if she's dead, then the rest of the council knows that it was Gravik that did it, and
they're still not going to say anything because he's the Skrull general.
It doesn't matter if he's the Skrull general or not. That's the thing. Because they want the Skrulls to survive, so they don't want to kill any more Skrulls. Listen, the fact that they've got 1 million Skrulls on Earth to begin with, that's a huge population. Yeah, seeing one die, whatever, but you can't really get rid of her because her human body is still in a containment unit somewhere because they took over her life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so,
it's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with her.
Yeah.
You know, because like I said, she knows too much. She knows everything that's going on, and she could really easily become a linchpin in their plan.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
You know, and obviously, you know, if they still have her body in storage, they could kill her and have another Skrull come in and take her place.
Right. But
I just thought of that.
But if you kill the host body, then you don't get the memories. So now you have, if you have the human and the Skrull both dead, you don't have the memories that are there. So now you're starting from scratch. And
but if they still have the host, if they still have the body, the human body, they can still get those memories, right?
As long as the body's not dead.
Exactly. So they can, so if they were to kill her, the human body would die. Is that what you're saying?
Potentially.
Or no?
It's just a theory. Potentially.
Right. Well, and then they could always, you know, have another person take the form before they kill her. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just getting too technical about it. Because I mean, all my brain is saying is they've got to get rid of her. Yeah. She's the loose link in this whole thing right now.
But the other issue then falls down to who's going to kill her. Because you kill someone of her position, that's an assassination. which
Unless
means,
it's ordered by the board.
right, which means who did it? Was it the Americans against Russia? Was it the Skrulls? Or was it Russia?
What,
Which makes it
what
an
exactly
even
is her
bigger
position? I never caught what her actual position was.
well, I think they just said she was a councilwoman.
Okay.
Was it, what's her name again? Shirley Sugar. Shirley Sugar. The Skrulls. She is. Oh, sorry. Shirley Sager. My bad. I apologize. Sager. She is part of the Skrull Council, and she is a powerful world leader. That's all it says.
Okay. So she's okay. Yeah. Either way, it'll be very, very interesting to see what, if anything, happens to her.
Yeah. So
I mean, will her loyalty to the Skrulls, make her stay silent about what's happening?
Mm-hmm.
Although the answer to that is no, because she called Talos.
Yeah. Well, from there, while that meeting is happening, it just so happens that Rhodey is back. Episode 2 with Colonel James Rhodes, who is now Secretary Rhodes, I believe. If I remember correctly, he's working for the president.
Right.
In Secret Invasion. Let's see here. Working for the president. He is. Oh no, he's still a colonel. He is still a colonel.
Yeah, but he's still working for the president. He represents the president, as we found in his meetings soon to happen, and all. So
yeah, so he's working directly for the president to keep him informed of Saber and all the other ties like SHIELD and all of that. So he's still working for the government. He never stopped working for the government. We know he's still in the military. Now he's just working for the president. And when Fury meets with him, they start going on this wonderful catch-up that does not go well.
Not for Fury anyway.
No, but honestly, I don't think it goes well for Rhodes either. I really don't. I don't think it goes for Rhodes either, because
I mean, look what he had to do.
I have a feeling. I mean, for one, he called up Rhodes, said he needed to talk, and Rhodes met up with them, set up a meeting place, and had his favorite drink. Supposedly, his favorite drink.
Mm.
And
right.
And even Fury mentioned what his favorite drink was.
But
and that the conversation between the two of them. You knew something was going to happen, but you also kind of knew that even though Rhodes pointed out, hey, listen, you're usually steps ahead of this.
Mm-hmm.
It pissed him off. Because he not only fired Fury for discharging him, they discharged him for being AWOL, I believe, right? Because he was supposed to be on Saber. So they discharged him for that, and they're blaming the bombing and Hill's death on him. But Fury isn't handling it that way. He's like, no. Not happening. And flat out told him, and I forget the exact words he said, but basically, you mess with the bull, you get the horns.
At the end of the meeting?
Yes, at the end of the meeting. It was basically Fury going,
I'm freaking Nick Fury. Even when I'm out,
I'm in.
I'm in.
Yes. and the other thing is he took his DNA with him. He broke the glass that he drank from. And the guy tried to subdue him, and he twisted it around and said, do you really think I'm going to leave my DNA around? Seriously? I'm like, okay. He's
Good
pissed.
Point. Good point.
And
Yeah, I caught that, but didn't catch that.
and at the end of that conversation, when he said those lines of "even when I'm out, I'm in," I flat out said, "Rhodey just pissed off the wrong person." And then I went, "That's not Rhodey. It's not. I'm calling it now. That's not Rhodey."
Well, and when Fury called him during their little conversation there, he did say that my other skin is made of titanium, you know. So, but I mean, these guys are when the Skrulls do their copies, they are. I mean, they're so exact that.
Well, yes, because
it's hard to know, man. That's the one thing about this show.
Yes,
you can't tell. I mean, hell, in the explosion in episode 1, you had Nick Fury facing Nick Fury.
Yeah.
I didn't know which was which.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know, and that has carried on through this entire show so far.
Absolutely.
It's very confusing.
So from there, we do see a little bit of a hint with, Councilwoman Shirley and Talos about meeting up with Gravik, but we also see an interrogation happening. And we see Fallsworth again. Fallsworth is back. Yay! We had a feeling she'd be coming back again. Only this time when she gets into the room for an interrogation on Brogan. If you remember who Brogan is, he's one of the Skrulls that...
the dude in the yellow skull cap.
Yes, the yellow skull cap. They took him and they're questioning him and they're doing whatever they need to. And she clears the room. She goes, okay, it's my turn. Different approach. And oh, by the way, where's the secret exit? Because shit's going to go down.
I love that she asked that.
She goes, where's the secret exit? Where is it? How do I get out of here in case something goes down?
Right.
And they just look at the floor and she's like, thank you. No problem.
Now get out.
Now get out. And she starts asking where Gravik is. Because Gravik, a theory of mine, and I remember I mentioned it last episode, is building a machine capable of strengthening the Skrulls with the help from the Daltons, who are a science couple. And Gaia discovers this. So this is all happening at the same time of the interrogation. And Fallsworth tells Brogan, I'm not going to hurt you, but I am going to put this in you, and your blood boiling on the inside, that's going to hurt you.
Just a little bit.
And normally we don't do this, but in your case, I'm willing to make an exception. She also makes sure to cut off his finger to prove that he is a Skrull, and uses the correct amount of saline solution to boil the skin from the inside. So she knows what she's doing. She's prepared for this. And Brogan just keeps fighting and fighting, and you can see like his veins are starting to pop out. His skin is starting to turn green in some areas, and it's just one of those things that's just like, okay. But at the same time, Gaia is snooping around. Gaia finds out exactly what is going on, who the machine's being built by, and certain things that are, I would say, part of an Easter egg if you think about it, but crucial to the story. So as Gaia is snooping, she finds a computer. That computer has a bunch of files on it, and it's an old school
Oh yeah,
computer.
With an internet connection, though.
With internet connection. But it confirmed my theory that we are going to see the Super Skrull. And the reason being is as she's following the scientists and looking up things, she notices DNA specimens, one of which labeled Groot.
Hmm.
Groot. Number one on the list.
It answers an interesting question, because that is the part of the conversation that the one dude and the scientist lady were having, talking about the harvest.
Yep. Well, if you remember from Thor: The Dark World, all the different portals that were opening up, there was a frost beast that got through and was stuck on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
That was a part of the DNA that they had occurred. Also, Cull Obsidian. Do you remember who Cull Obsidian is?
I can't remember, but I recognize the name.
I'll give you a hint. He lost his hand. Yep. Cull Obsidian lost his hand in the middle of the Battle of New York in Avengers Infinity War. Battling Bruce Banner, who could not turn into the Hulk, Spider-Man, and Iron Man, with the help of Wong, who closed a portal and his hand got cut off. Yep. There's also a little bit of a mention of Extremis in that computer system. Yes, I caught all of this, because when I saw that, I went, holy shit, we are going to see the Super Skrull. Some way, shape, or form, I'm calling it right now. Gravik is going to be the Super Skrull. Calling it.
I'm going to say it's going to be a cliffhanger at the end of episode 6.
I don't know about that. I don't know. But I guarantee you, Gravik is going to use that and become the Super Skrull. Guarantee it.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Because not only can the Super Skrull copy anybody, but they can take their powers too. Which means they've got information from S.H.I.E.L.D. as well. Super strength, speed, spider-like powers, flight, shape-shifting, tree. It's going to be an interesting one, folks. I guarantee it. I'm calling it now. Episode 2. Episode 1 was, I hope we see the Super Skrull. Episode 2, Gravik. I'm calling it. He's going to be the Super Skrull.
We'll see if you're right.
I have a feeling I'm very, very, very right on this one. Very right on this one. But as she's snooping, Gravik comes in. Well, actually, before we even get to that, Gravik and his henchmen go and save Brogan, but they do not get Fallsworth. She escapes through the escape tunnel, and the whole place gets pretty much blown up. I mean, she's fine. Gravik tells him, "Did you talk? What'd you say?" And Brogan says, "Nothing but lies." Nothing but lies, which we know is not true, because we know he told Fallsworth exactly what she wanted to hear, because he was suffering. He was in pain. He was basically getting killed from the inside out.
Right.
So Guy is driving along with him. They're all in the car. They're all doing this. They're all doing that. They finally pull over and they kill Brogan. They get him out. Brogan knows. Brogan knows he's going to die. And they kill him.
Oh, shit. That's just like if you're in the mob and somebody goes, "Let's go for a ride."
It's basically an old school mob hit, you know?
Yeah.
So
pretty much. They
kill him. They leave his body in the woods and they do whatever. And later on, while Gaia is snooping and finding all these DNA files, Gravik comes in and says, "What you doing?" And she says, "I think this is going to be fantastic." Clearly, Gaia is playing both sides, and she's not very good at it. Eventually, she'll get there, but she's not doing very well. Not doing very well.
Yeah, have to agree.
So, the fact that she discovered that they were experimenting with the DNA, and the fact that they are trying to evolve the Skrulls to a stronger race, because let's face it, you need super Skrulls, and if you're gonna be going up against the world, you need to have this. All hell's gonna break loose eventually.
Right.
After that, Brogan's already dead. We cut to Nick Fury returning to a house. Not just any house, though. His house.
Mm-hmm.
Where we see for the first time that he's married. Makes sense. He's married. But the funny thing is, while this house is not occupied by Fury, we see Priscilla. Now, if you don't remember who Priscilla is, Priscilla was the first person to bring Gravik in front of the council as a Skrull, because she is a Skrull. She's a survivor. She wants to see, Skrulls survive just as much as the next person does. And when he enters the door, she changes to her human form. And then they share a kiss. And she goes, wait a minute. Did you put it on? And he goes over.
What was our deal?
Yeah, what was our deal? Yep, he goes over, puts the ring on, and then gives her a kiss. So we find out that Nick Fury is in fact married to a Skrull. The plot thickens. The plot thickens. To me, this should be very, very interesting, because I was not seeing that twist. Wasn't. Nick Fury's really not the marrying type. And if you think about it, this is Nick Fury Jr. The real Nick Fury is probably already dead. He's also white, played by David Hasselhoff. Which is true. Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. It was a Fox TV, made-for-TV movie. So, yeah, it's there. Yep. So, in the long run, that was the end of the episode. No cutscenes, which I get. I understand why you're not doing cutscenes or mid-credit scenes. I can understand that.
Right.
We've got a lot to build up. I have a feeling the last episode will have something, but
yeah. Well, you got to tease season 2.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if they're going to do season 2, because you still have the Marvels movie, which may be.
Well, you got to tease something maybe into one of the movies or something like that.
Which to me it may be that it's just going to tie directly into the Marvels, and then they're going to do whatever they need to with the 3 of them. So should be interesting, to say the least. For me, since you did the numbers first last week,
I had the honors first.
I am going to give this week's episode a 3.5.
Okay.
And the only reason why I'm giving it a 3.5, it was almost a 4. Almost a 4.
Okay.
There were not really a lot of Easter eggs in this one. I mean, there are, but I think the biggest Easter egg for me is the fact that they showed the DNA that they were working on with Groot, Cull Obsidian, so on and so forth. So we know there's more DNA that's going to be out there somewhere, somehow. And I do like that they kind of made the references for Hydra and all of that. So the fact that there was just that one piece. I can't put my finger on it what it is. It's just that one piece that would make this 4 eye patches. Okay.
Right.
I just don't know what it is yet. Don't know what it is. It was almost a 4. Almost. But I did like it. The writing was great. Like the internal fighting between Rhodes and Fury, hands down, I'm calling it. Rhodes is a Skrull. Calling it right now. He's a Skrull. It will be revealed that he is a Skrull. Eventually. Some way, somehow. I do like that they had tie-ins to Captain America Winter Soldier, which I had mentioned earlier. And I think it'll be interesting, to say the least, just to see what potentially could happen.
Mm-hmm.
So, as of now, this episode 3.5. What do you give it?
I'm going to be a 3.5 too.
Okay.
I don't really know what to say.
Mm-hmm.
There's, to be honest with you, these first two episodes have fucked with my head. Hey, straight up, being totally honest, they have truly messed with my head because, I mean, just the fact that you don't know.
Right.
Whether you're actually seeing the actual person or are you seeing a shell.
Right.
You know, so, you know, I've had the thought of Fury being a copy, you know, and the fact that you don't know is causing a lot of issues for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's making it this may sound weird, but it is making it hard for me to actually enjoy the show.
Well, and I think part of that is due to it being a spy show.
Right.
Yeah, you don't want to.
Right.
You
but
don't want
I mean, even in a regular spy show, there's still some things.
Yeah.
That are for certain.
Right. And
this is a spy show that breaks all of the walls of a spy show.
Oh, absolutely. But
it shatters any glass ceiling, rubber wall, or whatever the hell you want to call it.
Yeah.
Because you don't know. You just simply don't know.
But the other thing is, even though it's breaking the rules of that, it's still keeping the foundations of that.
Oh yeah.
So it's still there.
It's tricky. It's tricky.
It's very tricky.
Especially for somebody like me who's a simple-minded guy.
Yeah.
You know, I like my stuff to be cut and dry.
Yeah.
We know that, but I like the adventure at the same time. But this one, to me, this one is just so far over the line that I'm finding it hard to really sit back and enjoy the show.
Yeah,
but I'm trying not to let that affect my scoring too much.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's like from what we know on spy shows and spy movies.
Yeah,
we kind of have to go, wait a minute. This is Marvel. Something different is going to happen. What that something is, who knows?
Right.
I mean, clearly just the fact that they are referencing the Super Skrull and the different DNAs that they've already collected, that alone tells you something's going to happen and it's going to be big.
Right.
But I'm calling it.
I'll tell you right now, it's going to be hard for me to get to a 4 on this series unless something really crazy happens. But
well,
I wanted to go with a 3, but this was a good episode. It had a lot of in it.
Yeah. Well, see, and that's the difference. For you, it was, For me, it was like, son of a bitch. I didn't see that.
Right.
Only because I was already thinking about something else.
Mm-hmm.
So the curveball, I'm like, ooh.
See, you're
Oh.
you're ahead of the game.
Yeah, I kind of am.
I'm behind. I'm behind the game,
Well, that
trying
and
to
I
catch
read the
up.
comics.
So
I
you've got a lot of history and knowledge in that
yeah,
head that I don't have.
it's true.
So although some of my fan theories have come true, and stuff. So, but yeah,
Eh,
it's going to be interesting to see. We got 4 episodes to go.
yeah,
All of which are supposed to be about the same amount of time. First episode was 55 minutes. Second episode was 58. So they're sticking right around that 55-minute time frame.
yes,
So we've got basically 4 hours more to. It's gonna be interesting.
yeah.
My biggest sticking point is Sugar Mama.
Sugar Mama.
Sugar Mama.
Well, my friends,
So
that
there you go.
is this week's episode of Avenger Pretenders, where we tackled episode 2 of Secret Invasion, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm liking it. Is it top of the list? No, but I'm liking it.
Yeah.
I'm liking what they're doing, and I'm liking the hidden references, and I really can't wait to see what's gonna happen next. Simple as that. I would get Lady Death's rating, but she is currently about to pick up her son, which is going to be amazing. Tomorrow,
She's down to a wake up.
down to a wake up, yes. Tomorrow, the Sully Show is not live. 4th of July. Enjoy it. Spend time with the family. I hope everybody has a happy and safe one. However, we will be live Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern
Awesome.
time.
Awesome.
So make sure you keep it locked in for this Wednesday for a special edition of The Sully Show, where we'll be welcoming home a new viewer / listener, because we're awesome. And so are they.
And this person has never actually listened to the show.
Nope.
But has been sending stories to his mom
Yep.
to give to us for the show.
Oh, we'll put them to work.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We'll put them to work. So for JT and myself, you have been listening and watching Avenger Pretenders, and we are live every Monday between 8 and 9:30ish, give or take, however long it takes us to go over the episode. We also have 2 Ewoks in the park around the same time, but only when we're doing shows like this that are on streaming services like Disney Plus for Star Wars or Marvel. And we will see you guys on Wednesday for the Sully Show. So have a happy and safe 4th of July, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye. 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 Because it's going to be fun. Bye-bye.
What the hell just happened?